The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Well, we're going to finish over on Apple TV with the return of the comedy drama Ted Lasso. And here's a clip.
Oi, welcome back. It's good to see you.
You too. But football is life?
No, life is so much more than football.
Not as catchy, but true.
Well, I mean, this doesn't really need much introduction, does it? This has just got a massive fan base. And if you don't like anything else about it, then you just need to watch Hannah Waddingham, who I'm a massive fan of, and who's absolutely brilliant in this and has got incredible one-liners. I think everybody thought that it was going to be it after season 3, I think, really, because we saw Ted Lasso sort of say goodbye to AFC Richmond and was going back to Kansas City. But we rejoin. We rejoin because he's back in Kansas City to coach his son Henry, his soccer team, and it's all changed though because he's basically asked to come back to England and come and coach the ladies team. Now, this has gone down by the second division women's team, I should say, and they want to make it into a major force. And Rebecca Welton, played by Hannah Waddingham, goes over to America and puts this proposition in front of him, and they want Ted back in London. And so rather than coaching the men's team, it's really clever actually. I don't know who was sitting in a room and thought, right, how do we breathe some more life into the bones of this? Where can we go again? Of course, this creates a whole new dynamic, doesn't it? Because at the beginning he was sort of a bit, didn't exactly know what he was doing. Then we came to love him, and then now he's back sort of almost to that sort of, oh, what am I doing? I'm teaching, I'm coaching the women's team. What do I do here? But he's up against so many issues because he stepped on toes because he hasn't been being asked to do, and taking the job has meant that he's taken the position that somebody else wanted. This. If you've loved Ted Lasso before, if you've loved these series before, then you're going to absolutely love this. And also, I think I didn't quite know how they could bring it back or how they would do it, but this almost takes you back to the sort of the first series, really, of him sort of bumbling around a bit and taking to uncharted territory again, which I think makes it really interesting. As I say, I'm a massive fan of Hannah Waddingham, so I'm all over it anyway. What do you think, Ian?
Yeah, I agree. We should always be grateful for Ted Lasso Hannah Waddingham has been working very successfully for years in the business, but this really thrust her into the mainstream, didn't it, this show? And she's been unstoppable ever since. It's interesting to see. I haven't really watched that much of Ted Lasso, but I think it's interesting to see him back in Kansas City. I think that's different. And yes, so basically Rebecca, played by Waddingham, PR guru Keeley, played by Juno Temple, who's very good actually, and football club secretary Leslie Higgins, played by Jeremy Swift. So they all go to America to try and tempt Ted back to coach the women. I've got to admit, I enjoy Ted's dialogue, but I find quite a lot of the rest of it a little bit clunky and not very funny. Like there's this running joke where Rebecca keeps spilling sauce on her top, which isn't very funny. But I'd be interested to see what it's like episode 1 is all in Kansas City. It'd be interesting to see what happens when he goes back to the UK, because then you're going to have the brilliant Tanya Reynolds from Sex Education playing Alice Chilton, a former player who was expecting to be head coach. So, I'm pretty sure that if you like Ted Lasso, you'll just be delighted that unexpectedly it is back for another season. Do you see what I've done there?